We have another new round of speculation on the fate of Vice President Mike Pence, otherwise known by his new nickname,
Mike Pounds.
Mike Pence. Anyway, now Vanity Fair reporter Gabriel Sherman had published a story on Monday. Now, this story should be familiar as we had actually recently reported on a similar story, and that Donald Trump's team is considering replacing Mike Pence on the 2020 ticket. Now, again, we've heard this before. So what's new? Well, first, let's go back and look at the original reporting. Now, this is from Axios reporter Jonathan Swan. Now, Swan found that Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner are driving a discussion to replace Pence with former U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley. So again, Swan stands by his original reporting very, very strongly, right? As Trump would say. So, okay, very strongly standing by that reporting. And now you have other people who have talked to Gabriel Sherman running for Vanity Fair about the same thing. Well, that's interesting. Now, let's be fair. These are rumors. And I know these are rumors, but they're interesting rumors nonetheless. In fact, saying that they're rumors, we can go back to 2011 and have similar rumors about Obama maybe dumping Biden and replacing him with Hillary Clinton. Whew. Now, I'm not sure would have been bad or would have been worse at this point, but it would have been bad, right? But obviously, didn't happen, and rumors are just rumors in that case, right? Now, the reason I say in that case rumors are rumors, obviously it didn't happen, but even so, at the time, you could have looked at how President Barack Obama was running things, right? We had a president who wasn't dumb. Like him or not, agree with his policies or not, you can't say that Obama was not a smart person. Now, there's conventional wisdom in Washington, which used to be followed, that says that any mid-tenure VP replacement would be an absolute and utter disaster, which is probably why any of the rumors back in 2011 were immediately squashed, because it made absolutely no sense. Because any supposed benefits bringing in a new running mate to the ticket would almost certainly be negated by talk that the president's initial choice would be a mistake. Imagine the news cycle for Obama, right? Obama dumps Biden, replaces with crooked Hillary. And this would be back in 2011. Fox News wouldn't be able to stop talking about it. Well, fast forward now, right? And then you would have a similar news cycle, right? And it would feed into the narrative that is fairly true that Donald Trump can't stop backstabbing his own friends. I mean, how many times have we seen Donald Trump shiv someone in the back who shares his goals, who is very loyal in the establishment? For example, you had, now sort of blanking out on his name. Donald Trump has been through so many people that I can't even remember who they are. Jeff Sessions, the first one to come out and endorse President Trump, or I'm sorry, candidate Trump, before he became president. Stuck his neck out to what most of the people, even people like Lindsey Graham, were saying, oh my, crazy, loser, lunatic, not going to win. Jeff Sessions comes out and says, I'm on the Trump train. Okay, Jeff Sessions then gets a place in the administration. And then, just as quickly, since he recused himself from the Mueller investigation because it would have been his ass, Trump shivs him in the back and removes him, fires him, gone. Bye-bye, Jeff Sessions. Oops. That's just one example of him shivving his own allies. You had Scaramucci at the time, was an ally. Gone. Now Scaramucci is anti-Trump. But before then, he was very, very pro-Trump. Enough to serve in the administration for 11 days. On and on and on. We've seen this. This is a pattern. It continues to happen. Not only that, but look, you want to talk about stability, right? Not a very stable genius. Okay. So when it comes to conventional wisdom of not firing people mid administration, Trump says, hold my Diet Coke because I'm about to do something stupid. But again, speculation. Not exactly idle speculation, but still speculation, to be fair. Now, the reason that I say that is, again, there's been a lot of different reports from people who were either in the administration or close to the administration, close to the White House, and, different sourcing, right? That have said that President Trump has privately regretted his decision to pick Mike Pence in 2016. I don't know if that's true. Again, don't know. Speculation. But there's others reporting that suggests that Trump is now fed up with Mike Pence for not defending him enough. Now that, much more credible. I could definitely see that because we have seen him get angry at people and fire people who do not defend him vigorously on cable news because that's all he cares about. So that definitely more believable. Now, there's also a huge difference between their personality and disposition, which I think is fairly obvious. Most of his presidency, we've seen Mike Pence maybe in the background a couple of times. He'll make a speech now and then. Otherwise, he's basically just not there. Off somewhere. Maybe having dinner with mother. I don't know. And so while Trump, of course, is all that people can see. Understandably so. And then, of course, you've got the polls. Disastrous polls for the Trump administration. You even have, it's so bad that you have Bernie Sanders and other Democrats that are beating Donald Trump in Texas. Red state, Texas. Now, maybe some of that has to do with demographics, and that's fair. Large Latino population, etc. But you got places where Bernie Sanders and Democrats are beating Donald Trump where they generally had no business beating Donald Trump. And let's be fair, Bernie Sanders is actually a great candidate too. But not to mention, you also have the fact that Donald Trump's incredibly unpopular. So, in fact, Sanders consistently beats Donald Trump in the polls, as well as Elizabeth Warren and even Joe Biden. Okay then, disaster. Now, if you're the Trump campaign and nothing you seem to be doing is working, and you're desperate, and the economy is in a slowdown, and your leader's unstable, well, think about what could happen. There could be absolute carnage. And what do you think he would do? I don't know. He could do anything. Trump Moore 2020. Roy Moore. Yikes. Now, one of the things, I know, could you imagine, right? But one of the things Sherman also noted in his piece is that according to a Republican close to the White House, like I said before, Trump is wishing that the vice president, as I mentioned, would defend him more on TV. And again, that's the death note, right? If you're not defending Trump enough on television, oh boy. Citing a Republican in touch with Pence's camp, Sherman also wrote that Kushner and Ivanka threaten Mike every week that they're going to take him off the ticket to induce him to follow orders. That's also, yikes. And that's something, by the way, Ivanka and Jared would do. Why? Because they've done it before. They pushed out John Kelly. They didn't like John Kelly. They pushed out Steve Bannon. Well, I don't like Steve Bannon. Nobody should like Steve Bannon. But they still pushed him out. And then they also pushed out former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. So that's what they do. Ivanka and Jared basically want to control how many people are in that inner circle. They want to have more control. They want to be the people that vet the people inside the administration. Because it's very powerful. And it helps their position in the fact that Donald Trump listens to them when they give advice. As terrible as it is, Trump does listen to them. But ultimately, of course, the decision usually falls with him or the last person to talk to him in the room. Be fair. So now, with all these reports, internally, Pence's camp is in a panic. Pence himself may have been so concerned about this that he stayed at one of Donald Trump's resorts that was 100 miles from where he was going to be. You know what that did? That effectively put money into Donald Trump's pockets to help alleviate that tension. Now, that's taking part in Donald Trump's corruption, which I think is an interesting thing. You want to win over Donald Trump, or try to, just put money in his pocket. He loves that. So, from the outside, of course, it seems like a little bit of desperation on the part of Pence's camp. But who knows, right? With the Trump administration, it's still such a wild card that no one knows what's going to happen. Maybe Pence can somehow make up for his sins. Maybe. Or maybe not. We might see as the election comes closer and closer. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/tytnation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/tytnation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.